That was exciting.
It was. It's the unplugged version of For Crying Out Loud.
Yeah, because we don't have our little tech fairies here
No,
today.
we're on our own. We're older people fumbling with technology.
Oh, that just makes my day hearing you say that. Nothing makes me feel like more of a fucking loser than hearing that. You know what? We're going old school. We're going old school
We
today,
are.
right?
We
Yeah.
managed to live without things. We had answering machines, and even before that, we had mothers that answered the phone and screened our calls, right?
And we had party lines. Remember party lines?
Party lines. I do. And I
That's when,
remember, and prank phone calls. Now you just get annoying sales calls, but
right. But do you remember what the party line was?
we never had it in Edmonton. I don't know. We didn't. Maybe
Well,
in,
we had it so, you shared a phone
yeah.
with the neighbors around you, right? So that you'd pick up the phone and you heard someone go, ah, blah, 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 blah. Then you'd have to go hang up, right?
Right.
Or you could listen in quietly and hope your dog doesn't bark in the background. You have to wait for them to get off the phone so that you can make your phone call.
Did you have to do that?
Yeah.
None of our neighbors spoke English. That would have been, well, when would I have known to interrupt? But
Well, you just have to wait for them to get off, right? And also, here's the other thing. Here's another blast from the past. The busy signal.
oh yeah, the busy signal.
You never get a busy signal
You
these
would
days,
try to
like
phone your friend
rarely.
that you had a fight with, and they'd taken the phone off the hook for the entire night.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck you. I'm taking the phone off the hook. Ooh,
And there was
take this.
something where the police could get involved, or there was some kind of like, sort of emergency alert sound. Like if your phone had been off the hook for too long, like people got involved.
Yeah, and some people wouldn't hang up the phone properly, right?
Yeah.
So it would be kind of off the hook. So you'd be yelling through the phone, Barb, Barb,
Right.
and then they'd never hear you, but you could hear
We
them in the
do that now with
background,
pocket calls, but it doesn't work.
right?
But
So
did you have
this,
one of those really long extension cords or like phone
eventually,
cords?
eventually, yeah.
Ours was like, I swear, it was the length of the entire house. And so my friends would call and I would flush the phone in the toilet to an,
Oh, not that you actually put the phone into the, but
I
you,
did.
not into the water. Did you put it into the
Yes,
water?
I did.
Doesn't that wreck the phone?
Yeah, I didn't care about that. I was 12. I don't know if
Wow.
it wrecked the phone. The phone seemed fine. I mean, it's a little unsanitary, but it was, a clean toilet. I
I
wasn't
would have received a beating for that, for sure. Whoa, whoa.
really.
Um, oh God, yeah. What are you doing? You think we're made of money here? What? You think you can just put the phone down? Oh, the German would come out for sure. Um, so this week's topic, Jen, is the promises that you made to yourself at the beginning of COVID, right? What would you, you know, oh, we're in lockdown for X amount of time, like for the foreseeable future. I'm going to blank. Did you
Hmm.
learn something? Did you have a COVID promise?
Well, actually, I had a COVID obligation. Well,
Okay.
I'm in school. I'm doing my master's,
Yeah.
and when I finish, I'll be a masturbator. I'm doing my master's, and I had to write an essay thing. I had to do this autobiographical piece, and so we were assigned that in January 2020, and we got an extension, because everything started to fall apart. We weren't quite on Zoom yet, so it was just like no class. And then we did kind of meet on Zoom, but it was mostly Zoom with drinking. Um,
Right.
wasn't really a class. So we got extensions on this assignment. And yeah, so I managed to get it done by August.
Wow. And so that's fun. So when you finish school, you'll have a master's in what?
I said I'll be a masturbator. I
Well,
have,
I guess I have my diploma. What do you mean masturbator? This
okay,
is a
so
joke. What are you going to be?
I will be a highly entitled white lady with an MA. I'll have my master's in arts from Simon Fraser University.
Okay, so it's not an MFA, not a Master of Fine Arts.
No, and no, it's not. It's not an MFA. I hadn't finished my undergrad, so I got into a program happily. I got into a program where my professional experience was considered valid entry into the program. So, and I'd had some, universities. So, and it's fantastic. It's a program called Graduate Liberal Studies, and it's kind of like Nutty Night School. We're all a bunch of geeky people who are trying to make sense of the world.
Okay. And so you got it done in August.
Can I just say, we do know at this point in history that education has nothing to do with who's running the world. Like, I mean, we can see that brains in academia are completely unrelated to the US presidency and other situations that might come to mind. So, yeah,
right.
you perfect a lens with which to see the world, only to find out that it doesn't really matter.
Ooh, fantastic. Let's just kill ourselves.
That's a bit nihilistic.
So, yeah, for me, I thought, I'll kind of, I kind of try to commit myself to doing 100 sit-ups, 50 push-ups, and 100 of these bum crunches that I do. So I would get my little yoga mat out that I never use I've never used it for yoga. It's just one of those non-slip things. And I did that for about a week and a half. And that was it. That was in in the middle of March or April, something. But what I did get just recently, which is, I guess, kind of COVID related, is this.
Woohoo!
Ukulele. And I can play anyway, it ends like this.
You made it.
Woo!
Fantastic.
So,
now, what are your plans for when you're a master ukulele player?
To annoy my neighbors. That's all I want to do.
No, Christine, you know our business. You've always got to be working on your club act. And I see a future for you with the ukulele. I really do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Well, who knows? And, yeah, and the other thing I wanted to do during COVID was keep the cats alive. And I think I've done that. So partial victories.
Right.
Now, should we start bringing our guests on now? What do you think? Enough about us kind of thing?
I think so.
Okay, our first guest today is a buddy of mine who I met through theater sports, who's a fabulous improviser and just a great a comedian with a great comic sense of timing, like that sentence was. And it's Denise Jones. Come on, Denise Jones. There you go. Hello, Denise.
Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you gals doing?
Good. You're also an actor.
I am an actor, yeah.
I have to say that.
Yeah.
So, because some people go, oh, improviser. Okay. Oh, you're also an actor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But improvising is tough. It's hard. Jenn also improvised.
Right. Yeah.
I did for a moment, but I was always being turned into a toboggan. That was in more, sexist times.
Right. I've been ridden many times on stage.
Yeah. And so how did you get past that, Denise?
Oh, well, you just wait for them to get old and die. And then.
I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't have the patience.
I stuck it out until
there was one time when my entire pant was pulled right down to expose the ass. And I just kind of went, there's no money in this,
Yeah. Yeah, I was sodomized by a kangaroo in a scene once, so that was.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh,
no, I'm glad you finally said that.
Never too late to reconcile.
No.
So Denise,
Yeah.
okay, your COVID promises, your pandemic, resolution. What was it?
Well, I had a number of them, much like yourself, Christine. I did start a fitness challenge and I roped in a bunch of my friends where trying to hold us all accountable. We had this fitness club for 2 weeks where every day it was how long you can plank. There was a walking lunges challenge, squats, push-ups. So when we all started, everyone was very excited. There was like a dozen of us. And every night I would log everyone's achievements. And then the next day, everyone would see the results. Like my mom, who's 70 years old, was participating in Saskatoon. We had people all over the country. And that lasted gradually, yet the numbers stopped coming in from participants. And of course, I felt like I had to keep going because I'm the one who started it.
Right.
Then even I gave up. So it was short-lived. So I did that. And now I had been trying to learn Spanish for quite some time because Mexico is my favorite place of all the countries I've been to. I love it the most. And so I thought I'll use the pandemic to really focus. So I was getting up every morning and sitting down to learn Spanish for at least an hour every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting quite good for a while, but then I just stopped.
Why? Like, why did you stop?
It just sort of like faded away. No sé, I don't know why I stopped. A language is very difficult to learn when you don't have anyone to practice with. So I didn't have any Spanish speaking friends who wanted.
And your partner didn't want to participate?
Michael, my partner, does not want to learn Spanish.
Could you just sort of phone somebody in Mexico, like just on
just just random?
Start asking about, like where the nearest hacienda is.
Yeah. I just sort of ran out of steam with it, and Duolingo started sending me really passive aggressive emails.
Oh.
Because it would be like their little happy owl, their Duolingo owl, who's like, cheering you on. The only way to get better is to take a lesson. And then if I wouldn't sign in every day, it would say, Duolingo owl is sad because you haven't. and then when you don't do it enough, then you get an email that says, clearly these notifications aren't working. Do you want us to stop?
Wow.
How much does it cost to do? Is it Duolingo?
Duolingo. It's not that expensive. I don't know. I'm still paying. I don't use it. But yeah, that sort of turned me off because it's like an old boyfriend or something. And then I just stopped.
So what can you say in Spanish now? Like how much of a conversation could you hold with somebody?
Yeah, puedes practicar, like really.
Oh, really? No, un poquito. Zapatos, pero no calcetines means shoes, but no socks. ¿Por qué no means why not?
Mm-hmm.
¿Por qué no?
I think I could get by if in a restaurant ordering food situation, I could get by.
Mm-hmm.
Counting and stuff, I could get by. I know how to say food words, but beyond that.
Dos cerveza,
Sí.
por favor.
Sí, café con leche.
¿Dónde está su padre?
Where is your father? Yes.
Is that my father? How about that?
Yeah. ¿Quién es mi madre?
Su madre.
Mi madre, su madre. We're all madres.
Yeah.
So now what if a second wave hits? What's your plan?
German.
Go to another. Call me up. Call me up. I can teach you how to speak German like an 11-year-old.
So tell us, so when you do the lesson on, what's it called again? Sorry?
Duolingo.
So someone says a sentence like, they say, hola, Denise, ¿cómo está? Like, how are you doing? And then you answer them?
No, it's more, I was still in the sort of lesson style. It wasn't having a conversation.
Oh.
It's, I have to type out what they say. So I learned how to write Spanish as well as speak it. They asked me to translate things because you have a little microphone, and then they can tell you how good your pronunciation was. You can set the pronunciation level of, if you want to just get by, then it'll take basically anything. Or like if you really want to get good at rolling your R's, you can like crank up the difficulty level on the, yeah.
I always like it when somebody says, something in a language, that they let's say a word like Saturna, and you go, oh, Saturna. And they go, no, Saturna. And you go, oh, Saturna. And they go, no, Saturna. Yes, I'm fucking saying something.
Yeah.
I'm saying the same thing you're saying. No. It's like, what's the deal?
That actually happened to me. I was living in Taipei, in Taiwan, and I didn't have my address card, and the language barrier is quite difficult there. I didn't have my address card, and my friends went out of town unexpectedly, and I couldn't remember. I kind of remembered the name of my street, but not really. And it took me like 8 cab drivers to just convince them to let me get in the car and then just drive around the neighborhood, because I thought I could just find it with visual landmarks. And it took me forever. I was in tears. It was like hours of driving around until finally we rounded this corner, and the name of my street was Shinpo Street. So we finally rounded this corner. I said, oh, yes, Shinpo Street. And he goes, oh, Shinpo Street.
Right.
And I'd been saying Shinpo Street the entire drive. Oh, I see. Shinpo Street.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like a totally different word. Yeah.
Yeah,
even saying hilarious. Thank you in Mandarin, like around Marple in our neighborhood where there's so many, Mandarin speakers, like, what is it? It's Juju, right? But people will correct you you haven't tried?
No.
I probably just said something really offensive just now, but I mean, I've had many, many Mandarin speakers try to coach me through it, and I'll say it back, and then after about try 50, they give up. Yeah. Even though I swear I'm saying the word.
Mm-hmm. I do know, just because my kid was taking Japanese in school, right? That that with languages like Mandarin and Cantonese and things like that, it really is in the inflection of the vowels, and so it is like, so Shinpo would be different than Shinpo, right? Yeah. And so even though it sounds the same to us, it's just like, oh, Cantaloupe Street, I thought you meant Meatloaf Avenue.
Yeah.
It's just
Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe, yeah. Hey, while we're on the subject of food, oh, look, there goes Frisbee, just around the corner behind you. Speaking of food, not that dogs are food. I think it's time to bring on our other guests.
They have food.
They have, because their thing is food. So,
good segue.
Hey, Paul and Christopher, come on in. Oh, hello.
Oh, look at you all masked and good to go.
Yes, while you guys have been talking, we've had an instruction from our Prime Minister here in the UK that even on Zoom, we have to wear masks.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that genius, Boris.
And then moments after he makes the announcement, you see him whip the mask off and go into very close proximity with anybody he feels like talking to.
I thought you'd quite like this one since it's almost Halloween.
Yeah. So Paul, where did you get that mask? It's that scary, what is that? What is
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
Online. There's my handsome face.
Online. And Christopher, yours is so much more friendly. I'd rather talk to you than Paul wearing that thing. So now you guys are in the UK.
Yes, it's 20 past 10. But
the bars are closed.
When they're open here.
Oh.
Is that a gin and tonic or a glass of water? Oh, wine and gin and tonic?
Sure.
Cool.
In the UK, it's the breakfast of champions.
Yeah, exactly. When we were listening to your COVID commitments, and the Brits in us just kind of balked because we might commit to something healthy.
Right.
I must become a UK citizen. I firmly believe that, because that's my mantra,
No, yeah, we've just committed to drinking more. I think that's the only thing
Yeah,
we've done.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
we can start at midday now rather than 6 p.m.
Now, you guys, okay, so COVID happens, right? Everything goes zoom like this. And what did you guys decide to do?
What did we? Well, I was still working a little bit, so I was doing some online coaching and stuff. And although I did do some auditions, I'm still doing auditions online a bit.
Online, yeah.
Yeah. So
We actually went into lockdown about a week before it was announced, just because I've got an underlying health issue. So we were kind of ahead of the curve by a week.
yeah, we kind of locked our way in, and then Chris started. One day I was bored, and Chris was cooking, which he does, and that's when I started filming him, just because I was bored. And then, so I don't know how many we've done now. We've done it. So we did cooking videos. So we've been doing those. We were doing them on a weekly basis. And then Chris, well, he became a bit of a diva.
Oh no.
It happens, I tell you. Seen it before. And then he's like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then, so we took a few weeks off. I said, you haven't quit. You've gone on hiatus.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's on hiatus. And then,
Renegotiations.
yeah, exactly.
See, and when you said diva, I thought that Christopher was doing something like, what is this powdered nutmeg? I can only use fresh, grated nut. So, but he just went, I'm not doing it for a couple of weeks.
I need an
Okay.
assistant.
Yeah,
Right.
To be alone.
He does,
And so you got him back.
We got him back to do kedgeree, which was very popular. I think by the likes that you got, you were very happy. So he's being tempted slowly back out of retirement, semi-retirement.
So where did you post these on Facebook? Is that what you do?
Facebook and YouTube. We have one friend on YouTube who actually does watch them. And then
Right.
Well, show us some photos of some food. Got some?
Yeah,
I'm interested because I love cooking. Okay.
Okay.
What's that?
So that's what's in kedgeree, Chris.
So that's hard-boiled eggs and smoked salmon and curry powder and onions and basmati rice and yeah.
And so you have to hard boil the eggs in advance. But that's a good, as we say here, a supper dish. So it's quite a light dish. And then
Very nice.
It's a comfort food. It's sort of left over from the sort of colonial period of the Brits in India, and they used to have it for breakfast.
Mm.
Right.
The Brits would have it for breakfast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now sort of a comfort food that people would have in the evening.
Right.
And
So it's the UK / India version of mac and cheese.
Yeah, although Chris kind of bulks when he sees me eat that stuff. So I'm allowed to have that when you're not in.
Well, yeah, that's because you buy that sort of processed packet.
It's President's choice.
Yeah,
President's choice.
That's the best one.
What happened with the processed package? What?
He doesn't let me have it.
Well,
He doesn't let him eat the boxed KD
Okay.
No,
because it's
I
got
have
that
to eat-
processed cheese thing.
Right.
This is what I have to eat. This is what he forces down my neck.
Oh, that looks awful.
Yeah, it's torture, Denise. Torture. Come on, help me.
Are those beets in there too? So it looks like squash and beet. What's in there, Christopher?
yeah, that's I roasted my own beetroot and it's butternut squash, walnuts. It's quite a simple dish, really.
And you-
Christopher, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
You just referred to it as beetroot,
Mm-hmm.
Beetroot, yes.
but
Dog.
we call it just a beet.
No,
No.
Beetroot and a beet, the same thing.
They are.
they are.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
And we don't say arugula in this house. We say
Rocket? Rocket. Mm-hmm.
Rocket. And aubergine instead of eggplant, right?
Yeah.
yeah, and
Courgette.
courgette.
Courgette. Yeah.
what's that?
Zucchini.
That's zucchini.
Courgettes.
Yeah.
Not zucchini.
Little red courgette. Remember that?
I don't. But my family, they say weird things, for shears in the garden, clippers. It's secateurs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
secateurs,
secateurs.
yeah. Those are the small ones.
Yeah.
Small ones are
Yeah, they
secateurs.
come in all sizes.
Oh, you do have those extendable ones.
Right.
Secateurs. Do you know where I put my secateurs? I can't seem to find them. Sorry, we
Now,
all find that funny
it's a
here.
cat face. And so, do you have another picture of something else? I'd like to see something else. And-
Well,
and
actually,
what-
I'm going to give you an exclusive.
Ooh,
Hasn't gone up yet.
heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I turned 50 in July, and I asked for a Black Forest gâteau for Chris to make me for my birthday cake. But instead of that, I got a Black Forest roll. Is that right?
Ah.
Oh, look at that.
So that's black cherries or
Is
sour.
is that a roulade?
A roulade, yes.
Mm.
Roulade.
Look at
I want-
us.
I watch a lot, like nonstop, Great British Baking Show. It's my favorite
Oh,
show.
look at that.
So you're gonna see, because it's a roulade, you're gonna see the actual roll.
Yeah.
This is him rolling.
Mm.
He was getting very angry with me.
Doesn't really matter.
Oh, your sponge
look
is
at that.
cracking. Your sponge is cracking.
That's the best bit. Yes, he was not happy. You had problems with that. You had problems with the ganache, didn't you?
So,
Oh my God.
in classic British tradition, do you refuse to pronounce it as roulade and it's roulade?
No, we say roulade. But,
Oh,
but that,
okay. Things are improving.
Yeah.
Yeah, we say roulade. Yeah.
I know that Brits don't like to. They anglicize words like claret, vermouth.
Yes.
Ah.
And what's your
They
point?
remove. Pardon?
What's your point?
My point is colonization.
Ah. Well, I have a question, Christopher. Like I'm not a big baker. I like to make, kind of savory things and stuff. Like I like all that stuff. I can brine a bird and make a roast and all that sort of deal. But for some reason the other day I had this hankering for cookies, right?
Mm.
So I decided to make some chocolate chip cookies, and I had these chocolate truffles, from, not the mushroom, but the truffles from Costco. And so I cut them up because I didn't have any chocolate chips. So that'll be fine. Look at this recipe for like soft and chewy chocolate chip cookies. Well, those motherfuckers were drier than a nun's fart. It's just like they came out of the oven. It was just like, so what can I do with my dry cookies, Christopher?
Dry.
Yeah.
You bash them down into a crumb and then make them for a base of cheesecake.
Oh.
That's a really good idea.
That's a really good idea.
You could treat them like a biscotti and dip them in coffee.
That's
true.
another good idea. Maybe make them drier.
Mhm.
Or I thought maybe kind of put them in the food processor a bit, like brip, 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 so kind of, break them up and then put them over ice cream if I get ice cream.
You
Or
could.
like a granola.
Granola.
Granola live. Only I ate
Cookie
breakfast.
granola.
If you made a cake and iced it, then you could use that as like a crumb
Yeah.
around it. Mhm.
Nice.
Cookie crumb cake.
Okay. So
None
now
of
I won't be
Things
mad at
sound like
myself.
They belong in anyone's fitness challenge.
And you know what's hilarious? Yeah, true. As my mother would say when she would make something that was like, kind of ruined, she would go, "A whole pound of butter went in there, and now it's ruined." It's just like, because I put like quite a bit of butter. I'm just like, damn it.
That
And I
sounds-
thought,
So why do you
it was
think
like,
it
what?
dry?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it became dry because I'm cursed, and that I probably didn't make it exactly I put the exact ingredients in and stuff, right? But I'm not a cookie maker, so maybe I don't have maybe you have to make a few batches and get it down to exactly the right size, like the ball, and then push it down, and your oven has to be the right temperature, and all that picky shit, that.
The
What,
thing with
like
gluten-
following the recipe, you mean?
the
Yeah,
thing with
that.
gluten is the science.
All that persnickety shit, like the right ingredients, the time you're supposed to cook it. Who knows?
Exactly.
I made things during COVID to avoid writing my essay. I made things, but none of them were things I should have been making. Like I made mushroom soup from scratch, which involves just a shitload of cream. Like, I mean, just a whole farmyard full of cream. So I was like, why do I need that?
Everyone really got into sourdough, I noticed.
Yeah, I made
it was like you couldn't get yeast in the stores, and people were talking about their sourdough starter and posting photos of their sourdough starter by the bed. It's very strange.
Yeah. Have you ever made a sourdough starter?
No.
I have, years ago. It's like owning a pet. You have to feed it, and it's like, and then you have to, keep perpetuating the beast, right? And you've got to keep using it.
Yeah, there's like starters that are like over 100 years old that people that you pass down generationally.
Yeah. Isn't it just like mold?
No, it's yeast that it's this yeasty floury thing, and flour is the food that you have to feed it every once in a while, and then it keeps growing, and then you just pull off a piece and put it into your dough for your bread, and that's
like people give it away in their wills and things.
Those cheap bastards. That's what I'll get from my mother. Yeah. Here's some yeast.
Here's your yeast.
Yeah. Enjoy it. What's that?
I've got a lot of my own I don't need.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Now, Christopher, you were going to say something just a little ways back. Do you remember? Or is it too late now?
About baking being a science.
Oh, yes.
He's a very good baker. Very good baker.
Right.
But the difference with baking, it really is a science, and you've got to be very specific, because otherwise it does go completely wrong.
Yeah.
So what Chris won't do is he won't deviate from a recipe. So he follows it very exactly. So that's why I think you're a very good baker, because you don't ever deviate from, if it says that, it's that. You don't get some sudden inspiration. I think your problem with your dry cookies there, kid, is the truffles.
Is what?
I think it was the truffles. I don't think you should have used truffles. I should have committed to Costco crap chocolate chips, and everything would have been fine.
You know what? Who knows, right? I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
The Costco chocolate chips has enough wax in it that would have been an emollient that would have kept it juicy. Tried to be classy and it failed. Stay in your lane, Lipa. Stay in your lane.
So Paul,
noted.
I'm curious. You said you were auditioning, and what shows have you auditioned for that we might? Silent Witness season 25.
Oh yeah, no, actually, this is strange. So I've got two agents. I've got a normal agent, as it were, and I've got a commercial agent. So, and never the two shall meet, as it were. And we were doing these videos, these cooking videos, and suddenly I get a phone call from both my agents to say, we want to put you and Christopher up for a gay couple doing cooking videos for a Diet Cola ad.
Oh,
so that was one of, we got a bit, we didn't make it, we didn't make the cut, but of course I told Chris the money, which the money was quite good. I had to get him off the Tiffany website, because he's not an actor, so he's already spending the money. Right from the keyboard. But most have been doing adverts. All the auditions have been for adverts, actually. Yeah, there hasn't been everything shut down.
Yeah, didn't I see you before COVID? Weren't you dressed as like a beef eater or something, or some sort of weird thing, or it was some?
Oh no, I produced that film. That was for the Tower of London. It was a whole Tower of London thing. Yeah, so it was to attract people to some guy escaping. There's only one man that's ever escaped the Tower of London, so we made a short film about that as an advert. It was an online advert.
Okay. Okay.
And did they ever find him, the guy who escaped?
No, he was some priest, and he's the only person to ever escape. John something, the only guy ever to escape, and he survived. Because anyone that's ever been caught's been captured and
killed.
Welcome to London.
Very, very bad statistics, that old tower.
So, but also it's funny because here the BBC shut down. I'm actually working on a web series that shut down because of COVID. But the EastEnders, this British BBC show, which is quite famous, soap opera, they were the first to come back. But they did something quite clever. They actually brought cast members' family in as extras.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, wow.
Anyone that got close on the cast members, and body doubles were also cast members' family. So you'd cut this.
They had a bubble.
They had a bubble that was all family and friends, and then they could then work within their bubble. So you'd have some of a different bubble, and they'd hug, but you'd cut to the back of someone's wife or something.
Right.
So
Right. I can just imagine my mother as, part of that.
Being on set.
Going like, what is this? What is a gummy bear? I don't want this.
Get that microphone out! Get that away! I can get like a cat.
Yeah.
Totally. Can you imagine your family, Jones? Can you imagine your family being part of that?
My mom actually came to visit me on set last year, and like I was shooting a kids' TV show called Pup Academy about a bunch of talking dogs that get magic powers, and so she was on set with me, and it blew her mind. She said, "I've never had so many people be nice to me in my life." Like, because everyone's trying to keep the actors comfortable so they don't get whiny and ruin everything. So constantly people are offering her tea and would you like a snack, everything. And I said, Mom, it's going to be a really long day. You should probably go back to the hotel. And she said, why would I leave?
Right.
This is amazing. Yeah.
Well, she should try background work next time. She'll be out of there in a fucking heartbeat.
I remember years ago I was doing an ad, and a friend sidled up to me, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you for ages." She said, "Could you just get me that bagel? We're not allowed to eat from that table." I was like, "Yeah, you can have two."
You're smuggling for the background performers.
I was on a set once, and the person guarding the crafty table from the extras shooed this guy away, not knowing that it was the director of the film.
Oh.
That's perfect. I love that.
And he said, "I appreciate you saving us money, but I'm the director on this."
By the way, you're fine.
Meanwhile, the extras are shivering in a tent around a space heater.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Well, how do we want to wrap this up here, guys?
Well, I just want to know what the new COVID, if we go into lockdown again, Denise, you've said that
Oh, God.
you're committing to German, and Christine can help you up to the age of about 11, and then on your own. And what about Paul and Christopher? You guys have started, the beginnings, the seed of a great cooking show.
I'll look. No, he's got I'm going to make you commit to making your Christmas cake. He does a Christmas cake every year.
Okay.
It takes about 2 months.
Why does it take so long?
Just sit there and let it mold.
Eat the cake with brandy.
Like a fruit cake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you have to have the dried fruit in the booze for a long time.
Yeah. So I'll document that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be good. And maybe Jones, you and I, because I know you play the ukulele.
I do
Right.
play the ukulele, yeah.
You can, teach me a few things
Mm-hmm.
besides.
That was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jones.
Christine's going to
Once
get a
you-
job at like a buffet if they ever open up again. She'll be like the brunch performer.
Oh, yeah.
That's my dream. That's my fucking dream. Right next to the spit guard.
That was my nickname in high school.
Spit guard.
Yeah.
I play spit guard. And what about you, Jen? Bring us home, baby. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm still in
lockdown?
school, and I have a group assignment, and you know how they can go.
Oh,
And I think
God.
I've got some real wingdings in my group.
What's your
So,
assignment?
I have to write. Oh, it's really festive. I'm in a course called Urban Ethics, so we have to write a play, of all things, about an ethical situation in urban planning.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to write about all the good times that are happening down at Tent City.
Oh, geez.
So
That sounds like a fun place when you say it like that. It's like where
Well,
you
I'm
get
trying
all
to
your
make it fun.
camping needs.
I'm trying to forget about the bear traps and the stabbing and, you know, all of that. Like, I'm just like,
Going
we're
to
going to go down to
Tent
Tent City and we're going to have some fun.
Hey, come on
Tent
down to
City,
Tent City.
USA.
That's what I need. I need a ukulele. I do.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
Really,
you.
really appreciate it.
It was
And
lovely.
yeah, and so glad that our guys from across the pond could join us. And we'll see you next time.
6
Yay.
o'clock somewhere. Get drinking, Canada.
Okay.
Commit to it.
Woohoo!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.